Good afternoon. This is Joy at Joy's Tiny Royalty Tiny Home Creators. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm really exhausted. My eyes are bothering me. It's been a rough day trying to get my insurance set up because the old insurance went too high. Of course, my daughter was there helping me, and the lady we had to deal with was no fun. We later on, though, got comically laughing about it, but still in all, it was a rough day. And then, apparently, my video, Homeless at 80, people are misunderstanding what that video was about and what some of the other videos are about. Homeless to some people means not having a home and out on the street. But if you Google it, that's not what homeless means. Homeless means, okay, let me back up. Just because you have a house don't mean you have a home. Or if you have a shelter over your head does not mean you have a home. It takes various avenues to make that house or structure, camper, to make it a home for you, where you feel safe financially, you're financially secure, you're comfortable, you're content, you like where you're at inside that structure, which, and the different things that you've got in your environment around you uh, feels homey and content and comfortable for you. That's what makes a home. And if your structure that you're in, or your house, or your camper does not give you that peace and contentment of being able to call it a home, then you're homeless. And that question, homeless at 80, that was, am I homeless or what? I mean, that it was a question. I wasn't saying I was homeless, but I was homeless. Okay. This is hard to explain because it gets really deep. I wasn't houseless. I had a roof over my head. I had a place to lay down and sleep and sit and watch television. But I wasn't comfortable. I hadn't made it into a home yet, a place where I felt safe and secure and financially secure. So I was asking a question. Am I homeless just because I've got a roof over my head? Yes, I was homeless. Technically, I was homeless. But I'm finding that people want to come in and fight me over that. And that's exhausting, because one perspective of what homeless is and another perspective of what homeless is two different things. Which the correct homeless is that if you don't have all of the things in your structure that feels homey and content and peaceful and comfortable to you, and you have a nice little environment within that structure, then you're homeless. There's no home to it. It's just a structure. So that, okay. For instance, we'll say that we know some people that are homeless or houseless, because that's what it is. They're not only homeless, but they're houseless and sleeping on the street. But a lot of them set up tents, excuse me, and they even try to build them a little structure. in different various places in the city and things. And you'll find that a lot of them will put couches in them tents, chairs in them tents. They have a little spot where they cook and stuff, and they're trying to build themselves a homey lifestyle, a home in a tent, in that structure. So they feel uh, more like they are and got something that they could build up from that, and possibly make everything easier for them so they can go get a job, um, get a real house that they can turn into a real home. So I don't know if I'm making any sense or not, but I'll have people come in there all over the place and saying, "Well, you're not homeless. You have a beautiful home." Well, I worked at it to make it this way. It was a camper. It had 4 bunks in this room and a structure in the middle where you put a TV. The living area had a built-in futon that you could lay down into a bed, and then alongside of that there was a built-in uh, table and booth that you could take the table out, put everything down, make another bed there. And then just over between uh, the master bedroom and the kitchen was um, a structure that you put a TV in that. Well, it's a camper. You're not meant to live in a camper. It's just for going out and vacationing and things like that. And then, of course, in the bedroom, the big bedroom was built up on on a platform bed that you raised up, and you stored things underneath there, and then you could reach it from the outside of the camper. You all know what campers look like. Well, it took me time to turn that into a structure that had home in it for me. And I'm still working on it. I still don't have it finished. So, and I started finding myself getting a little upset at some of the people because they were wanting to fight me over that. And that's like that one video I did about opinions. Opinions really are just a nice way of judging somebody on what they are doing or not doing. But those opinions can turn out to be disastrous when you're saying to somebody, "Well, you're not homeless." Well, until you understand and know that that's not how my structure is not homey and feeling like a home to me, then I'm homeless. Just like I can't look at the person down the street and say, "Well, what do you mean? You're wealthy and you're rich. You look like you don't have nothing to me." But that's wrong because I'm judging them, and that's my opinion. But in their mind's eye, they've got everything they need. They're wealthy. They feel very stable and their life is homey. So my thing about the homeless at 80 and any of the other videos that I'm saying, like the one where I said, I watched the video of the guy saying, "Prepare for homelessness. Prepare to be homeless." That's what he was saying. And it was a question: are you preparing to be homeless, or are you preparing to keep a home? And there was a couple people, and somebody come in and said to me, well, why would you prepare to be homeless. Well, apparently, I mean, I wanted to get a little bit sarcastic. I'm human. Just because it looks like I'm this sweet little old lady, and most of the time I am, I get the rooster stirs up in me once in a while too. So I said, well, I don't know. Did you look at the video? Because the video very clearly states that I watched this video about this guy saying, prepare to be homeless. So that video was about, are you really preparing to be homeless? I mean, do you just want a structure for your house? I mean, to live in? Do you just want a place to lay your head down? It takes work, no matter what structure you're in, to make your structure a home for you. That's just like, okay, downsizing to make it simpler so your structure will feel homey and safe, and you've got money left over, and so to where you feel financially secure. So, yeah, I got my dandruff up the last couple of days. I haven't been sleeping because that's been on my mind, that there's a lot of people out there that really don't understand. If your home don't feel like a home, or your house, your structure, don't feel like a home, then that means you're less a home. You're in a structure, but you're less a home. I don't know how better. I told you I wasn't a speaker, and I'm learning. I know that, but there's 99% of all of you guys have been really wonderful, and I know that some don't quite understand the true understanding what a home is. They think that you just, because you got a roof over your head, you got a home. No, that's not the way it is. And I'm sorry if I've made anybody feel bad when I tried to comment back to them about what a home is. And if I upset you or offended you, forgive me. But, and of course, and then we got this other issue that somebody come in there and started to try to throw politics into the whole thing. My channel is about trying to stay positive for everybody to have a good life. Make sure that they don't take steps from where they're living into going houseless. And that's how it happens. If your structure, or if your house, or if your camper does not have the sense of a home to you, then you're going to start making bad decisions. You're going to start feeling rotten and nasty about your life, and you're going to feel cluttered up and all kinds of things, and you're going to make wrong choices that will end you up on the streets without a roof over your head. So, feeling like you have a home inside your structure, or your house, or your roof over your head is vitally important. That's why I'm saying simplify your life, downsize, so everything is much more easier for you. Because for one thing, things are costly. Rent is costly. I tried to avoid talking about all of this, but you can't. The world is going to hell in a handbasket. And you may have all the faith in the world in your creator, but it's still going on out there. And the only person that we can keep safe is ourselves. And that means, okay, use the brains and the gifts that our creator gave us to sustain ourselves, so we don't get into all that chaos that's going on out there. So I'm actually so tired, and it was hard. I'm telling you, the questions that they asked to get the insurance for the car was absolutely horrendous. There was no reason for them. Made my daughter even upset, but she wanted to take that woman and strangle her, and she's a very patient woman. But here's the thing. Just because there's a lot of chaos going on out there, and there's a lot of people that hate other people, and they don't even like themselves, and they're gonna try to destroy what you're trying to do. If you're trying to simplify your life, and somebody comes along and says it can't be done, well, you got a roof over your head. Be glad, be grateful. Well, then you try it, huh? You tell them that, then you try it. But yeah, my heart's broken, and I'm sorry to have to tell you that. But all the trolls that are out there, and even the innocent people that think they know what's best for you, and they given their opinion. Opinions are from their perspective, and I'm learning. I'm still learning, actually, not to give my opinions about other people, and just like this, when people are saying this about my home, and that's how they must think that homeless is and stuff like that. I'm trying very hard not to look at those statements as, well, you should know better now. No, they are who they are, and they can't help it, and I understand that. But there are some people that know what they're doing. They come in purposely, because I looked it up. They come in purposely and troll the channels that are starting to do good. I mean, it's like all of a sudden, boom, 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 my channel started doing good, and I don't see where I'm doing anything all that wonderful at all. But I'm very tender-hearted, and it hurts me to see people being deceived. And I try not to deceive anybody. Trying to let you see right straight from the get-go that if you want, even if you just want a roof over your head, you've got to make it into a home. Because like I said, if you don't make it into a home and it's just a place to lay your head down and cook your dinner and stuff like that, then you're going to subconsciously sabotage you taking care of it, and end up out on the street. You'll end up without a roof over your head. So that's how important it is not to look at your structure and say and feel homeless. I don't feel comfortable in my home. I don't feel like it's a complete home. Then to me, I'm homeless. And when you start feeling that way, then you'll make wrong decisions, and you'll decide, well, what's the point of trying? I'm giving up, and you'll end up out on the street. So Anyway, I put a couple shorts out trying to explain a little bit more detail of what to do if you want to downsize into a camper and or an RV. Now, a tiny house, that's different because it has a greater electrical system in it. But again, you got to find people that in states that will recognize tiny houses. So I'm sorry I ranted at y'all and um, I almost caught myself gonna bawl there for a minute, but I got myself and um, I'm glad I got a roof over my head. I'm glad I am able to turn it into a home and have a homey feeling like this. I love cozy, especially at night. Have a nice little light, and I want to get a place. I started up my book collection again, and different things, and um, I'm sorry I ran it like this. So you guys all take care, and again, I'll leave you with this. Henry Ford was a very smart man. He became a millionaire almost overnight because he stuck with what he thought could do. And his quote was, "If you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right." You all guys have a good evening. Have a great day tomorrow. And until we meet again, good night.